Yo, Javier Fortuna sends a definite message to Devin Haney, Teofimo Lopez, Ryan Garcia, and the rest of the lightweights tonight in his fight against Antonio Lozada. We're going to talk about that on this side. Make sure you smash the like button. What up, Fight World? It's your boy Ego, and I'm back with some more boxing. Make sure you smash the like button. Also, subscribe to my channel for the latest and greatest in boxing. If you want to become part of the gang, notification gang, please hit the bell icon. Shout out to the super chats, channel donations, the Venmo donations, the Cash App, and the Patreon family. We working. Wow. Javier Fortuna, he put on an absolute show tonight in his fight with Antonio Lozada Jr. Now, this was a great performance from Javier Fortuna. You will see some pictures, screen caps, if you will. Javier Fortuna, he came out in round one, and he ended up buzzing Lozada towards the end of the round, I think it was, and had him backed up onto a corner. And I remember this look that was on Lozada's face when he started winging them shots, them fight, like he really swarmed him, kind of like what you would expect from Marcos Maidana. And Lozada realized he was in a real fight. He realized he was in a definite fight, in a real fight. And, you know, it was a 10-8 round for Javier Fortuna. It's not too much to break down because the whole fight looked like this. Lozada, after in the following rounds, like rounds 2, 3, he seemed kind of spooked, like he was shook, and he didn't really want to engage. Javier Fortuna is just a tough customer. Lozada, you know, he threw a couple punches in maybe round 4 or 5, nothing too great. And in round 6, it was a slower pace start for Javier Fortuna. And then, like he normally does, he just kind of exploded with a ton of shots, a barrage of shots. And then he ended up clipping, which is what you see on the screen right now. He ended up clipping Lozada, and he just piled it on. When he was in the corner, he just was getting busy. He was getting busy, letting them hands fly. Lozada looked like a car hit him. And then the ref was like, nah, I got to stop this. So he got the 6-round stoppage, Javier Fortuna. Now, if you're a fan of my channel, I've told you guys for a while that Javier Fortuna, he's that guy you really don't want to fight unless you have to fight him. And I'm not saying that in terms of I do hope he gets the big fights. But what I'm saying, he's just rough and rugged. There were moments earlier in the fight where the ref kind of had to warn him because there was like a break and he was just trying to throw punches. He even threw punches after the bell in one of the rounds. He's a true fighter, and he's a by any means necessary type of fighter. He did some really good, I forgot what round it was, but let's say round 4 or 5, really good body work, and he's just letting his hands go. He was way too much. Thing that was impressive is you look at Antonio Lozada, he's been in there with some good names, and he's 6 feet tall. So he had like a 5.5-inch reach advantage, and he also had a height advantage being 6 foot. None of this ever came into play or seemed to bother Javier Fortuna. It was the Javier Fortuna show from the beginning of the fight to the end of the fight. You know, Lozada seemed shook. He seemed outmatched. He seemed outgunned, and he was hesitant. Like all that 5.5-inch reach, none of that really amounted to the victory here. Very good performance by Javier Fortuna. He looked sharp. He looked imposing. I was on Twitter, and I felt that his performance, like there's points where he had his hands low, Roy Jones Jr. style. He also reminded me of Emmanuel Augustus. Just a very awkward dude. Very awkward dude. Negated Lozada's height advantage and reach advantage. Look, he's 6 feet. Javier Fortuna is 5'6.5". So I think he sent a strong message. And some people are going to try to undermine this. Keep in mind, Javier Fortuna was supposed to fight a former champion in Jorge Linares, but that fight fell apart because Jorge Linares pulled out. He got sick with the Rona. But you look at guys like Jose Pedraza, who been in there with Lomachenko, who's been in there with Tank Davis, got stopped by Tank. Jose Pedraza was able to stop Lozada also in 9 rounds. You know, in 9 rounds. And this fight was close. The fight was close. Look at the scorecards. 75, 77, 73, 79. Somebody had it. Mike Ross had it dead even. This fight wasn't close. You know, I get it. There was a couple losses. He had all losses in a row. So it is what it is. But Fortuna did what he was supposed to do and bombed the man out. Lozada's most famous for stopping Felix Verdejo in the last round in New York. You know, a highly touted Puerto Rican lightweight. So this is a guy who has that victory 2 years ago against Felix Verdejo, who also fought Lomachenko in the amateurs, though. Very impressed by Javier Fortuna. I think he's kind of like that dark horse character that, I don't know. It's gonna be interesting. He's just giving everybody problems. I'm trying to find what fighter like to compare him to, but he's looking like a boogeyman in the division. I really believe that because he doesn't represent all the money. You know, he got those cuts on his face. He had a headbutt early in his fight. He ain't worried about that. He wasn't worried about, there was a cut in the first round and he wasn't worried about none of that. He was trying to inflict pain and it was a hell of a performance. So it would be interesting because, you know, Devin Haney, he's very young, very skilled. I think this was a fight that was, you know, for the mandatory for Devin's belt. Ryan Garcia, he got speed, but sometimes, you know, he closes his eyes when he punches, leaves his chin in the air. This guy is like wild, but it's with a purpose. You know, he knocked out Jesus Cuellar, who fought Abner Matas and Tank, you know, and he knocked him out quicker than Tank. And I get it. He's getting the people when he's getting them. But at the end of the day, he's doing what he's supposed to be doing. So I would like to see Javier Fortuna get a big name. You know, they're talking about Teofimo versus George Kambosos. I would rather see Teofimo Lopez, you know, as a boxing fan versus Javier Fortuna, because styles make fights. This man is giving everybody really problems. You know, the Granados fight it was like a weird, I was at that fight. It was on the Errol Spence undercard. I was in Texas, you know. Sharif Bogaray, he fought Cuellar, he decimated. Lozada, Granados, Robert Easter, some people thought he won. That was a close fight. He was winning versus Jason Sosa, got stopped late, and that was it. You know, he hasn't lost truly, like definitively, since the Jason Sosa stoppage, in my opinion, because the Robert Easter fight could have won anyway. So since 2016, he's been calling out big names, and he looks to be getting stronger. Let me know what you guys think if you watched the fight. The lightweight division is definitely popping. Tons of talent. I would definitely be in and all for it to see how any of these young fighters like Ryan Garcia, Devin Haney, Teofimo, how they would fare versus this lightweight boogeyman. If it's not one of them, another great fight would be a fight with Gary Russell Jr. You know, there was talk that Gary Russell Jr. was interested in the Fortuna or possibly was going to be able to fight Fortuna. That would be a great fight. If Gary Russell, if he said he was going to move up to 47 for Terrence Crawford, then 35 to fight Javier Fortuna doesn't sound out of the question. You know, I really like Javier Fortuna. He's just a workhorse. He's one of the Badu Jack type of people who's just going to keep putting in the work until he gets what he wants out of boxing. And I think somebody got to give him a shot. I like his energy. He destroyed Lozada. He won every round. And he was like, he started feeling himself. And that's it. I'm telling you, even Lomachenko, I want to see Lomachenko fight Javier Fortuna. And some of y'all are like, aha, you're crazy. No, I'm not. Bro, he gives anybody problems. He's going to give people problems. Whether you beat him or not, that remains to be seen. He's going to give people problems. He's a warrior. Look how he fighting. He's fighting through this type of stuff. I'm telling you, he looked like Jeff Goldblum in The Fly. Bzz. Bro, he gonna give people problems. I promise you that. He's giving everyone problems to begin with. Jason Sosa arguably beat Robert Easter. Man, what? In the fight, he was feeling himself, and I could tell he was feeling himself because he kept saying "woo" and getting his Ric Flair on. This man, don't sleep on him. He could be the sleeper guy at the division where I don't know how many people are going to be chomping at the bit to fight him, because he doesn't represent all the money, but he represents a rough, unorthodox, and difficult fight. Difficult fight. Look at the height difference. Look at that. I don't know. I wish they were facing. I guess because it was social distancing, they don't have a picture of them facing off. But man, Fortuna's a beast, bro. I like what I've seen from him. Drop your thoughts in the comment section. As always, hate, comment, and subscribe. Till next videos. Ego. Signing off. So if you enjoyed this video and want more content like this on the channel, you can show your appreciation by going to the PayPal donate button or the YouTube support button, and you can donate any amount that you feel is equivalent to the value of this video. Much more to come. Thank you guys for your support. Boxing Ego, the future of boxing.